I'll teach you a lesson.
We know your fat ass can't get over that fucking barrier.
Oh,
Mama.
what?
My God.
Forget it.
Tripped over fat.
Revolution.
You would have beat on her 50-year-old mom.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
Oh my God! Leave her alone! Oh my God!
Now he's hitting his own people.
Oh my God!
The Cerberus Police Department. I'm your
I got a
Grand
question.
Marshal, Kyle. Do I look like I'm taking fucking questionings, you stupid bitch? Did I say questions? You think I give a fuck? Disturbing the peace. Get that stupid bitch in cuffs.
Which one is it? Which
Holy
one?
G.
Keep running. Stop.
This is
Oh my God, she's running.
Easy now, Hoy.
This is Chelsea Lafayette with LSBN. The images you've just seen, while brutal, are commonplace in the city. Police brutality has crept into our daily lives to the point of being normalized. These abuses of power have given the United Police Department the moniker the biggest gang in the city. Is this title deserved? We'll find out today.
But the troopers started to come in here and defecate on the bar. It's actually a thing that's happened since the tavern days. Apparently, Mr. Soze used to poop in the icebox, and he's very much continued that over this couple of weeks. I've had to clean up poop about five different separate times. One time, taking an entire weekend to get it all cleaned up. It was just that nasty.
Was at the hospital treating patients when suddenly Deputy Everly attempted to arrest people. They took people to MRPD, where Deputy Peach threatened to pour water on me multiple times. They dangled a bucket of water on people, indicating at any moment the water would pour on people and deactivate people forever. After 10 minutes, Captain Wrangler and Sheriff Fred came in as well and tried to make people confess to a crime that people did not commit. They threatened people multiple times. They said they would take people to the scrapyard and dismantle people until people was scrapped.
Typically, someone will contact me about a brutality situation, and more times than not, I hear about the situation and have to decline to take the case because, you know, they got their you know what beat down, and almost always in those situations, those brutality situations, it comes down to they're in the cells alone with officers in handcuffs, getting beaten in the cells, but no one who's on their side is there to see it. And in a court of law, that's basically the same as it didn't happen.
Some officers almost show pride in the brutality, believing that the police motto shouldn't be to serve and protect, but rather obey and survive.
I believe we're not going far enough. The tagline for the United Police Department is obey and survive, and our 95s aren't doing a lot of obeying, but they sure are doing a lot of surviving.
So,
feel as if violence should be up.
Some say the issue went a step further when the PBSO rebranded itself as Cerberus PD, accepting a corporate sponsorship. While the jury is still out on CPD, some individuals are worried.
I had two Cerberus lawyers come in here and tell me that they were taking over all legal aspects of PD, and that any work done by non-Cerberus lawyers had to be double-checked, and they would have to have final say in what was posted to the docket, or even what warrants went through.
Police officers tend to stick together, Most refuse to speak to the press and keep a good part of their social life within PD. Now, with the level of criminality in Los Santos, it is no surprise that many officers feel like they're living under siege. Now, while PD can and does attract downright sociopaths, a lot of officers also respond to threats with aggression because they see aggression on a daily basis.
The ones that are causing problems, I guess they cause problems for the good police, because there are police officers out there who are trying to do a good job, and they're trying to better the city, and it ends up putting a bad light on all officers as a whole, honestly. And a lot of people end up not trusting them or respecting them. It just makes it harder for them to do their jobs. One thing I have actually seen before with a couple officers, now I'm thinking about it, is those Hell Weeks. Those Hell Weeks changed a lot of officers, and ones that were more patient with people and were kinder officers ended up actually becoming a little harder. So it's a little tough because those Hell Weeks happen probably because of one bad cop who did something stupid, and then all the cops get punished.
So what can the city do? It is clear that the current internal affairs structure is inefficient. To many, the situation seems hopeless. Is Los Santos doomed to become a playground for bullies in uniform?
There's no real transparency when it comes to internal affairs. So if and when an internal complaint to law enforcement is submitted, there's never any follow-up that takes place. If punishment is meted out to the officers in question, if misconduct is agreed upon internally, they usually will punish the officer internally without publicizing it or following up with the original complainant. They are sort of left in the dark with the mystery of, did anything happen? Was there even an investigation? Was there a result? Was the officer suspended, sanctioned, fired? Law enforcement is the largest consolidated voting lobby in the entire state. They have the most power and influence over our political process, as well as the ability to congregate and picket and protest any decisions or policies that they do not like. Is too bad to have to say, but I do not think that there is anything that we can do within the law, within the institutions that we have, that can combat the level of power that law enforcement now has, especially now that they are basically corporate sponsored by private corporate interests. They grow more powerful by the day.
While investigating, I myself was the victim of police brutality. I was handcuffed and kidnapped without charges, brought to Burn Island, and threatened with lifetime imprisonment, all over my voice. They thought I wasn't American, and that was justification enough to bully me and beat me up. I was interrogated, I was searched, I was beaten, stabbed, and left for dead. For any social change to come, the community needs to band together and demand change. There are multiple ways to improve our police force. Body cams have proven successful in many jurisdictions. Officers who cross the line should also face permanent consequences. It is not acceptable for any public servant to commit any felonies and then be welcomed back as if nothing had happened. Ultimately, the police in the city need to understand that their first duty is not to catch criminals, but to protect civilians. Officers who do not behave professionally should be removed from the force, period. Many individuals in the city do follow the law, and these individuals would love to look at police officers as protection, rather than refer to them as the biggest gang in the city. This has been Chelsea Lafayette with LSBN.